Hello. It's another day of Navaratri, celebration of the divine feminine over 9 nights. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is also part of our Bhagavad Gita year-long sadhana focusing on samatvam, equanimity, and I think we have some really good examples of that today. First of all, I'd like to remind you we're having a live event. It's April 15th, only one live event, April 15th. Details are below. We will have these videos every day, though, through Navaratri, so that you can learn more about the impact of energy here in Cleveland. I hope your life is blooming for you. Today's color, blue, blooming blue, but symbolizing elegance. And today, as we honor the divine feminine, especially in the form of Kali for these first 3 nights, Kali is the dark one, and darkness is associated with tamas and becoming stuck. However, Kali is also the great transformer. Nothing in this material universe escapes the vicissitudes of time, the effects of time. We're going to have a story of how the divine feminine appears regarding the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to go back before the war that starts in the Gita by several decades. A young princess named Gandhari is about to be married to a king. She finds out, though, that this king is blind. And as she finds this out, she asks a servant to bind her eyes. Why? Asks the servant. And Gandhari says, so that I may never begrudge or pity my husband for what could be perceived as a fault. I will adopt this as well. I will be the same as him in this condition. It will give me empathy, understanding. The servant bound her eyes. Gandhari never took off the binding. It was said that this act of humility, of samatvam, of wanting to be equal, gave her great spiritual power, and also her tendencies toward equanimity manifested throughout the Mahabharata. Now remember, there are different versions of the Mahabharata. You may have heard different versions of these stories. But in one version, so actually Gandhari is the mother of Arjun's enemy, Duryodhana, who exemplifies selfishness. And it's fascinating because one of the great quotes, in my opinion, from the Mahabharata is given by Gandhari as her husband plays favorites with his own children over the children of his brother. That is, his children over his nephews. His children are Duryodhana, selfishness, and his siblings, and Arjun and his 4 brothers are his nephews. And he's playing favorites. And Gandhari says, the beginning of all social injustice is when one favors one's children over the children of others. So she even then tried to make this point of equanimity, sameness to all. Later in the Mahabharata, after the war of the Gita has started, her son Duryodhana, selfishness, comes to her every day and says, Mother, pray for my victory. And his mother says, Gandhari says, wherever there is righteousness, there will be victory. She never said anything about, you will win. She said, wherever there's righteousness or truth or dharma, there will be victory. So she did not favor her children over the children of another. She just went to this universal principle and said, I accept and I understand. Well, that's easier in theory than in practice, because during the war, her children all become killed. Duryodhana, selfishness, and all his siblings become killed, while Arjun and all his brothers live. And at the very end of the war, when the bodies are on the field and everyone's looking around, Yudhishthira, Arjun's elder brother, who is now going to be crowned king after this bloody war, approaches Gandhari And Gandhari is very angry at the loss of her children. She is human after all, even though she does espouse equanimity. And as Yudhishthira approaches, she lifts a corner of the binding of her eyes just a little bit and catches sight of Yudhishthira's toenails, which are beautifully done, by the way, very manicured. And Yudhishthira's toenails catch on fire. And Arjun, frightened, hides behind Krishna. This is the aspect of the power of promoting equanimity through your life. You have this special spiritual fire. But then Gandhari says, "That's it. My anger has been released. Sorry about your toenails." Except for Krishna. Krishna also, we remember we said he's an embodiment of time. And Gandhari says to Krishna, "This is all your fault. You could have stopped this war. Therefore, I curse you that a few decades from now, your own family will be destroyed in a war you cannot stop." And Krishna says, "Thank you. My family will have to depart this material plane just like all others. And you have given me the way, the insight to learn how to do that before Kali Yuga, the iron age of terror, evil descends." So that was very interesting. Krishna demonstrated his equanimity, but Gandhari, as Kali, as time, predicts even the end of his family and his embodiment on this earth. So let's salute Gandhari. I encourage you in the meditative practice today to think of how your equanimity is giving you strength and power. Or if you have trouble finding it, maybe reflect on that, saying that social injustice comes when we start favoring the children of us, our own children, over the children of others. And the mantra, again, I encourage you, Mahakali Ki Jai, victory to Kali. The mudra today is Matangi. We had Kali yesterday, the first fingers extended. Today it's the middle fingers, Matangi, goddess of transformation. And you can actually hold that right at the center of fire, the solar chakra. All right. Shall we practice? And switch. Fantastic. So, with meditation, perhaps spend a moment, contemplate how you can manifest more equanimity in your life, being the same toward others, and or then mentally repeating the mantra Maha Kali Ki Jai. Great Kali, victory to you. Victory to time, which conquers all. Welcome back. How did the time go for you today? Fortunately, our time together is caught on video and you can review it as often as you wish. We will be back together tomorrow. Today's color, remember, is elegance. Treat yourself like a queen, like Gandhari was. Tomorrow's color, yellow, for optimism and joy, and we'll have a story about that, another mudra, and of course mantra tomorrow. Embrace the divine within you and within all during this special period. Until we meet again.